Welcome back to our channel. In the heart of America's bicentennial celebrations, 1976 marked a year unlike any other, a time when patriotism filled the air, fireworks painted the night skies, and a wave of national pride swept across the country. As people celebrated 200 years of independence, the U.S. Mint was hard at work producing a series of special coins to honor the momentous occasion. Among these commemorative releases, one coin in particular would emerge not just as a symbol of national pride but as a hidden treasure for collectors, the 1976 United States half-dollar. At first glance, this coin appeared to be just another special memento of the bicentennial festivities, but over time, its true value would become known, with some examples selling for an astounding $60,000 to $125,000. The story of the 1976 half-dollar begins with the coin's striking design. Departing from the usual imagery that had defined U.S. coinage for decades, the Mint sought to create a design that would capture the spirit of the bicentennial. The obverse of the coin retained the familiar profile of President John F. Kennedy, a figure who embodied American ideals and whose untimely death still resonated deeply with the nation. However, it was the reverse that was completely transformed for this special issue. The traditional presidential seal was replaced by a stunning depiction of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the very cradle of American democracy where the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. The reverse design was the work of Seth G. Huntington, an artist whose rendering of Independence Hall captured the solemn dignity and grandeur of the historic building. Above the hall, the words, United States of America, curved gracefully along the top, while the denomination, half-dollar, sat proudly at the bottom. Between them, the phrase, 200 years of freedom, echoed the national mood. Every detail of Huntington's design, from the colonial windows to the stately clock tower, was a testament to the craftsmanship and reverence poured into this special edition coin, but beyond its design, the minting of the 1976 half-dollar had its own intricacies. In addition to the usual copper-nickel-clad versions intended for circulation, the Mint also produced limited runs of silver-clad proof and uncirculated versions. These special issues, struck with higher quality and often sold to collectors in commemorative sets, were made with a composition of 40% silver, adding an extra layer of desirability. It was among these special strikes that the seeds of rarity were sown, as slight variations, errors, and exceptional minting quality would eventually set certain coins apart from the millions produced. At the time, most Americans saw the 1976 half-dollar simply as a keepsake, a tangible reminder of the country's bicentennial festivities. People tucked them away in drawers, framed them, or used them as gifts, never imagining that certain examples would one day be worth a small fortune. It wasn't until years later that coin collectors began to realize the extraordinary value hidden in some of these seemingly ordinary coins. Coins with pristine surfaces, deep cameo contrasts, flawless strikes, or unique mint errors began to fetch eye-popping sums at auctions. In particular, specimens graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, such as MS-70 or PR-70, and those with rare die varieties or striking anomalies, could command staggering prices between $60,000 and $125,000. The factors driving this extraordinary value are numerous. First and foremost is the condition. Coins that manage to survive without the slightest blemish, handled carefully and preserved perfectly from the moment they were minted, are exceedingly rare. The difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth tens of thousands can hinge on microscopic details, the sharpness of a strike, the depth of a cameo contrast, or the presence of mint luster. Secondly, errors unique to the minting process have played a huge role in elevating the status of certain 1976 half-dollars. Double strikes, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and even rare die clashes can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value. As the market for rare coins grew in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, so too did the appreciation for the 1976 half-dollar. Collectors who initially overlooked these coins began scouring their collections, coin dealers ramped up their search for high-grade examples, and auction houses began spotlighting them in their catalogs. Stories surfaced of lucky individuals who discovered forgotten 1976 half-dollars in dusty old boxes or inherited collections, only to find that their keepsakes were worth small fortunes. The excitement and thrill of the hunt drew even more people into the hobby, fueling an ever-growing demand for these special coins. The 1976 half-dollar stands today not just as a piece of currency but as a piece of American heritage, a reminder of a proud celebration 2 centuries in the making. Each coin carries with it the spirit of 1776, the echoes of the Founding Fathers, and the enduring resilience of a nation built on the ideals of liberty and freedom. Holding a 1976 half-dollar is like holding a piece of history in your hands, a small but powerful link to a time when the country came together to celebrate its journey and its future. For those fortunate enough to possess a rare or exceptionally well-preserved example, the 1976 half-dollar offers more than just historical significance, it offers the possibility of a life-changing discovery. Every detail on the coin, from the fine lines of Independence Hall's architecture to the dignified profile of Kennedy, tells a story of care, pride, and legacy. Whether housed in an elegant proof set, encased in protective plastic, or lovingly stored in a collector's album, the 1976 half-dollar continues to captivate and inspire all who encounter it. In the world of numismatics, it serves as a beacon of what can happen when artistry, history, and chance come together in a perfect, almost magical alignment. Each time a 1976 half-dollar crosses the auction block and fetches another record-setting price, it reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones we hold onto without even knowing their worth. And perhaps, hidden away in a forgotten drawer or an old family collection, another priceless gem is waiting to be rediscovered, ready to tell its story once more. In a time when America was navigating the complexities of a new decade, dealing with both hope and uncertainty, the year 1972 stood as a testament to resilience and progress. Amidst the backdrop of political changes, cultural revolutions, and societal shifts, the U.S. Mint continued its mission of creating coins that reflected the nation's spirit. That year, nestled quietly among everyday commerce, a coin was minted that would later captivate collectors and historians alike, the 1972 United States half-dollar. Though at the time it was simply loose change in pockets, destined for grocery stores, diners, and gas stations, the legacy of this particular coin would grow into something much greater, transforming ordinary money into extraordinary treasure. The design of the 1972 half-dollar was nothing new to the American people, yet it remained powerful and significant. The obverse proudly bore the image of President John F. Kennedy, a leader whose vision and charisma had forever shaped the American consciousness. Sculpted by Gilroy Roberts, Kennedy's profile on the coin carried an air of solemnity and hope, honoring his memory following his tragic assassination less than a decade earlier. His portrait faced left, etched in bold yet elegant lines, a tribute to his enduring legacy. Around him, the inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," framed his face, while the date, 1972, sat neatly at the bottom. Turning the coin over revealed the familiar, majestic presidential coat of arms. Frank Gasparo's intricate design displayed a heraldic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows in its talons, symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle's head, a field of stars shimmered in the right light, while the words, "United States of America," and "half-dollar," completed the circular frame. Every feather, every curve of the olive branch, and every sharp tip of the arrows was crafted with an artistry that demanded admiration, even in mass production. Minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1972 half-dollar was produced both for circulation and for collectors. The Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, Denver coins proudly wore the D mint mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins distinguished by the S mint mark. Millions of these coins flowed into circulation, exchanging hands countless times, yet among the masses, some unique specimens managed to remain untouched by the wear and tear of daily life. It was within this sea of ordinary coins that extraordinary examples quietly hid. Coins struck with exceptional sharpness, those that preserved their original luster, and those that bore fascinating mint errors began to emerge years later as highly coveted prizes. With time and scrutiny, collectors and appraisers discovered that certain 1972 half-dollars, especially those in flawless condition or featuring rare anomalies, commanded breathtaking prices at auctions. It's not uncommon today to find that a single, pristine 1972 half-dollar, especially one with a rare die error or an immaculate strike, can sell for anywhere between $70,000 to $135,000, depending on its specific attributes and market demand. The factors contributing to such staggering valuations are rooted in rarity, condition, and desirability. For example, a 1972 half-dollar that has survived decades without so much as a hairline scratch, retaining its original mint luster, and showcasing perfect detail under magnification is a true marvel. The grading services, like PCGS and NGC, award these perfect specimens the highest grades, such as MS67, MS68, or even MS69, though the latter are exceedingly rare. Moreover, errors like double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and striking anomalies have added layers of fascination, making certain pieces practically priceless to determined collectors. The allure of the 1972 half-dollar goes beyond its technical specifications, though. It's also about the emotion, the nostalgia, and the connection to a pivotal era in American history. Every 1972 half-dollar is a time capsule, capturing the mood of the early 70s, a nation striving to heal, move forward, and honor the dreams of its fallen heroes. In a sense, owning one of these coins isn't just about holding on to metal, it's about holding on to a fragment of collective memory. Over the years, as coin collecting evolved from a niche hobby into a mainstream passion, the demand for rare and high-grade 1972 half-dollars has only intensified. Auction houses around the country have reported bidding wars erupting over top-grade examples, with final hammer prices often exceeding expectations. The thrill of discovering one of these rare coins in an old roll, a forgotten drawer, or an inherited collection has turned casual hobbyists into serious enthusiasts, all chasing the dream of unearthing a life-changing gem. The story of the 1972 half-dollar is a reminder that value often hides in plain sight. A coin that once jingled unnoticed in pockets and cash registers can, under the right circumstances, transform into a symbol of immense worth and historic significance. It speaks to the enduring magic of coin collecting, that intoxicating blend of history, artistry, chance, and passion. Every tiny imperfection or flawless feature on a 1972 half-dollar tells a story, a narrative etched in metal, waiting to be discovered by someone who looks closely enough. In today's market, serious collectors seek out the finest examples of the 1972 half-dollar with laser focus, understanding that opportunities to acquire such pieces are rare and fleeting. Whether it's the gleam of a proof coin's mirror-like surface, the sharp relief of Kennedy's portrait on a mint-state specimen, or the fascinating curiosity of a striking error, each extraordinary 1972 half-dollar carries with it a legacy of both artistic achievement and historical resonance. For anyone fortunate enough to hold one of these treasures, it's more than just a coin, it's a bridge to the past, a testament to America's enduring spirit, and a vivid reminder that even amidst everyday moments, history is constantly being made. And sometimes, just sometimes, it's hidden in the palm of your hand, waiting to be appreciated in all its brilliance. In the final years of a transformative century, America stood on the threshold of immense technological advances, societal changes, and a new millennium that promised endless possibilities. The year 1998 was filled with both reflection and anticipation, a moment when the country celebrated its achievements while eagerly peering into the unknown future. It was in this dynamic backdrop that the United States Mint continued its proud tradition, producing coins that not only served everyday commerce but quietly preserved slices of the nation's story. Among the shimmering productions of that year was a coin that seemed almost destined to be overlooked yet would one day command profound respect and admiration, the 1998 United States half-dollar. At a glance, the 1998 half-dollar looked much like its predecessors, bearing the dignified profile of President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy still stirred deep emotions in the American consciousness. Gilroy Roberts' masterful portrait captured Kennedy's strength, vision, and youthful optimism in every detail. His face, slightly angled to the left, was framed with the bold letters of Liberty, while just beneath his determined gaze, the motto, "In God We Trust," anchored the design with profound meaning. The year 1998 rested at the bottom of the coin, quietly marking its place in history. The reverse side of the coin was no less striking. Frank Gasparo's classic design of the presidential seal graced the back, a powerful eagle with wings spread wide, clutching an olive branch symbolizing peace and arrows signifying strength and preparedness. Encircling the majestic bird were 50 stars, a tribute to the unity of the states, while the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "half-dollar," completed the grand composition. Every feather, every talon, every star was struck with a precision that reflected the Mint's enduring commitment to excellence. The 1998 half-dollars were produced at 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia carried no Mint mark, those from Denver bore the proud D mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins with an elegant S. While millions were minted for circulation, a special series was also released that year, the 1998 S Silver Matte Proof half-dollar, included as part of a 2-coin commemorative set honoring Robert F. Kennedy. These special coins, with their frosted surfaces and silky finish, became instant favorites among collectors for their beauty and low mintage. Most 1998 half-dollars slipped into everyday use, exchanged for groceries, packed into cash registers, and forgotten in change jars. But hidden among the ordinary were extraordinary specimens, coins struck with remarkable sharpness, coins with pristine surfaces untouched by time, and coins showcasing rare minting anomalies that would, over the years, become the stuff of legend. These coins began to emerge quietly, surfacing at auctions, estate sales, and private collections, revealing their true worth to those with a discerning eye. Today, among numismatic circles and collectors who appreciate both the artistry and the history of American coinage, the 1998 half-dollar holds a special place. Especially rare are the coins in near-perfect condition or those with significant mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or rare strike-throughs. In the ever-competitive world of coin collecting, it is not unusual for a flawlessly preserved 1998 half-dollar to fetch astonishing sums. Depending on its condition, rarity, and provenance, a single 1998 half-dollar can command prices ranging from $50,000 to $110,000 at major auctions and private sales, turning a once humble piece of currency into a treasure of immense value. The magic behind such valuations lies in the convergence of condition, rarity, and emotional appeal. Coins that have been certified by top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC with grades of MS68, MS69, or even a near-perfect MS70 are breathtakingly rare and highly sought after. Each tiny detail matters: the sharpness of Kennedy's hairlines, the flawless fields behind his portrait, the crispness of the eagle's feathers, all combining to tell a story of survival against all odds. After all, surviving over 2 decades without acquiring even the slightest scratch, nick, or blemish is a monumental feat for any circulating coin. But the story of the 1998 half-dollar is not just about rarity or financial value. It's about connection. It's about holding a piece of the late 20th century in your hand, feeling the weight of history and memory pressed into metal. Every 1998 half-dollar speaks silently of the era that birthed it, of families gathering around bulky television sets, of children racing home to the sound of dial-up internet, of a nation poised between nostalgia for the past and excitement for the digital age to come. As collectors search far and wide for the best examples of the 1998 half-dollar, the competition grows fiercer, and the legends grow richer. Stories circulate of fortunate individuals who stumbled upon an uncirculated roll tucked away in a forgotten bank vault, or of a casual collector who, flipping through old pocket change, discovered a glistening specimen that would later finance a college education. Each tale adds another thread to the intricate tapestry of the coin's mythology. In the end, the 1998 half-dollar is a shining example of how something seemingly ordinary can, with time, patience, and a little bit of luck, reveal itself as something truly extraordinary. It reminds us that hidden treasures are everywhere, often in plain sight, waiting for those who know how to look beyond the surface. And it underscores a timeless truth, that even the smallest pieces of our history can carry enormous weight, connecting us to our past and inspiring our future. The next time you find yourself holding a 1998 half-dollar, take a moment to truly see it, to appreciate the artistry, the history, and the possibility it represents. For within that small circle of metal lies not just the story of a nation, but perhaps, if fortune smiles upon you, a treasure whose true value is far greater than anyone ever imagined. The early 1970s were a period of profound change in the United States. It was an era shaped by social transformation, political upheaval, and a relentless drive for innovation. Amidst the headlines that spoke of challenges and breakthroughs, the quiet, steady hand of tradition remained at the United States Mint, where coins continued to be struck not just as tools of commerce but as symbols of the nation's endurance. Among these pieces, the 1973 half-dollar emerged, carrying with it a resonance that few could have predicted at the time. Today, it is more than just a piece of metal. It is a bridge to a unique chapter in American history. In 1973, the Kennedy half-dollar continued to serve as a tribute to the fallen president whose vision and charisma had left an indelible mark on the nation. Designed by Gilroy Roberts, the obverse presented Kennedy's youthful and hopeful visage, a reminder of an America that dared to dream big and look beyond the horizon. His hair was sculpted with intricate detail, every lock and wave capturing the spirit of a leader who inspired millions. Above his head, the word "Liberty" curved proudly, while the motto, "In God We Trust," anchored the lower fields, split on either side of his strong neck. Below, the date, 1973, placed the coin firmly within a moment of societal introspection and future hope. The reverse remained just as stirring, thanks to Frank Gasparo's masterful depiction of the presidential seal. An eagle, proud and resolute, spread its wings wide as it clutched an olive branch and arrows, embodying America's simultaneous commitment to peace and strength. Encircling the great bird were 50 stars, one for each state, speaking of unity and resilience. The inscriptions, United States of America, and $50, framed the scene, reminders that this was not just a piece of metal but a piece of the nation's living story. The 1973 $50 were struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted at Philadelphia bore no mint mark, while those from Denver carried a bold D, and San Francisco's proof coins bore the elegant S. Unlike previous years, these $50 were not intended for general circulation, they were produced primarily for collectors as part of the mint's annual sets. As a result, finding a 1973 $50 in everyday pocket change was, and still is, incredibly rare. Most examples remain tucked away in proof and mint sets, guarded carefully by collectors who recognize their significance, yet among the millions minted, only a select few have survived in conditions so pristine, so untouched by the ravages of time, that they are today considered among the finest known. It is within these ranks that the truly extraordinary 1973 $50 reside, those coins that have become the crown jewels of serious collections. It is no wonder, then, that a flawless or nearly flawless 1973 $50 can command staggering figures when it appears at auction or private sale. In fact, a perfect or near-perfect 1973 Kennedy $50 can fetch between $65,000 and $120,000, depending on its condition, provenance, and the fervor of bidding collectors eager to secure a piece of history. Such values are not just a reflection of scarcity but of the emotional connection that collectors feel toward this coin. The 1973 $50 represents more than just a year, it embodies an entire era, a time when Americans faced challenges head-on, when hope flickered even amidst uncertainty, and when the legacy of a young, martyred president still stirred the hearts of millions. Each pristine coin is like a time capsule, preserving the optimism, the tension, and the resilience of the early 70s, but the journey to such lofty valuations is not easy. Only coins graded at the highest levels, typically MS-67, MS-68, or the near-mythical MS-69, can achieve such impressive price points. Collectors meticulously scrutinize each specimen for razor-sharp strike details, gleaming luster, and the complete absence of contact marks or blemishes. The smallest imperfection can dramatically affect value, making the hunt for perfection all the more exhilarating and the rewards all the sweeter. Beyond condition, certain varieties and minting quirks further enhance desirability. Double die obverse, striking anomalies, and coins with remarkable toning patterns can all ignite bidding wars among passionate collectors. The lore of the 1973 $50 continues to grow with each rediscovered treasure, each unexpected discovery in an old collection or bank hoard, and each record-setting auction that reminds the world of the coin's enduring appeal. Stories abound of fortunate individuals stumbling upon a 1973 $50 that had been carefully preserved by a parent or grandparent, only realizing decades later that the coin they casually inherited was a hidden gem. Such tales fuel the dreams of collectors and inspire countless others to carefully sift through collections, hoping to uncover a 1973 $50 that glimmers just a little brighter than the rest. Holding a 1973 $50 today is like holding a tangible piece of America's spirit. It's not just the weight of copper and nickel you feel but the weight of history, the triumphs, the tragedies, and the enduring belief in a brighter tomorrow. The artistry of Roberts and Gasparo ensures that every glance reveals new depths, the strength in Kennedy's jawline, the resolve in the eagle's gaze, the elegance of the encircling stars. Every element whispers of an America determined to overcome, to aspire, to lead. As time continues its ceaseless march forward, the 1973 $50 only grows in significance. Coins that survive the decades in impeccable condition are more than just rare, they are miracles of preservation, silent witnesses to a bygone era. They remind us of where we have been, of what we have achieved, and of the dreams that continue to propel us forward. In a world increasingly dominated by fleeting digital transactions, the 1973 $50 stands as a steadfast symbol of permanence and purpose. Its journey from the mint presses to today's auction houses and prized collections is a testament to the enduring power of craftsmanship, vision, and national pride. And for those fortunate enough to hold one of these rarities in their hand, it offers not just a glimpse into the past, but a tangible connection to the soul of a nation that continues to believe in the promise of tomorrow. The year 1979 was a turning point in the rhythm of American life. It was a time marked by both uncertainty and ambition, a period when the nation stood at the threshold of a new decade, carrying with it the experiences, triumphs, and lessons of the years gone by. It was against this rich, complex backdrop that the 1979 half-dollar coin continued its journey, quietly taking its place in pockets, collections, and eventually, in the heart of American numismatic history. Though often overlooked in the bustle of everyday life, today the 1979 half-dollar is recognized for far more than its face value. It is a piece of American spirit, a relic of perseverance, and for some lucky collectors, a key to a small fortune. The Kennedy half-dollar, introduced in 1964 to honor the beloved president, had by 1979 become a familiar sight. Yet familiarity did not diminish its significance. Designed by Gilroy Roberts, the obverse captured John F. Kennedy's determined expression, a profile that symbolized courage, hope, and youthful vision. His hair, carefully sculpted, seemed to ripple with vitality, and every line of his face reflected a nation's enduring admiration for the man he had been and the ideals he represented. The word "liberty" arched above his head, while the solemn words, "In God we trust," flanked his strong visage. Beneath, the date, 1979, grounded the coin firmly in a time when Americans were both looking inward and reaching outward toward the future. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's majestic eagle continued to hold court. Wings outstretched in a powerful embrace, the eagle clutched the olive branch of peace and the arrows of readiness, surrounded by a circle of stars representing the unity of the states. The words, "United States of America," and "half-dollar," stood boldly around the scene, making it clear that this was not just a coin, but a statement, a testament to what the country had endured and what it still aspired to become. The 1979 half-dollars were minted at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each mint leaving its own subtle mark. Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, Denver coins carried the crisp D, and San Francisco's proof coins proudly displayed the elegant S. While millions were struck, most went unnoticed in daily transactions or found themselves tucked away in collections, rarely revisited until years later, when their true importance would finally be recognized. Over time, certain 1979 half-dollars began to stand out, not because of any initial fanfare, but because of their remarkable survival. In pristine condition, with razor-sharp strikes, dazzling luster, and untouched surfaces, these coins began to tell a story that few could ignore. And it is within this handful of extraordinary survivors that serious collectors found treasures beyond expectation. A 1979 half-dollar, preserved in immaculate condition, can today command staggering sums. In the bustling, high-stakes world of coin auctions and private sales, a flawless or near-flawless 1979 half-dollar can fetch anywhere between $50,000 and $110,000, a testament to its rarity and the emotional pull it exerts on those who understand its place in history. This value is not simply about scarcity, it is about a deeper, more profound connection to a time and spirit that continues to captivate. Each 1979 half-dollar in superb condition carries with it the echoes of a nation at a crossroads, grappling with its identity and its future. It reminds collectors of the power of perseverance, the importance of vision, and the beauty of craftsmanship that refuses to fade with time. Reaching these impressive valuations is no simple matter. Only those coins graded at the highest levels, typically MS-67, MS-68, and the almost mythical MS-69, can reach such extraordinary heights. Experts scrutinize every detail, from the sharpness of Kennedy's profile to the pristine field surrounding the eagle on the reverse. Even the slightest blemish can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and a coin commanding tens of thousands. Beyond sheer condition, subtle varieties also add to the mystique of the 1979 half-dollar. Coins with striking anomalies, such as slight doubling, unexpected die clashes, or extraordinary natural toning, capture the imaginations of collectors and ignite fierce competition. Every unique characteristic tells a story, and in the world of numismatics, stories are worth their weight in gold, or, in this case, in history and value. Tales abound of unsuspecting heirs discovering a forgotten collection left by a grandparent, with a lone 1979 half-dollar gleaming among the relics. Some stumble across one tucked away in an old mint set, lovingly preserved but long forgotten. Each discovery fuels the dream that somewhere, hidden in a dusty box or overlooked drawer, lies a piece of history waiting to reveal its worth. To hold a 1979 half-dollar is to hold a piece of America's heartbeat, a silent witness to the aspirations and challenges of an era that shaped the world we know today. It is a coin that captures the resilience of a people who, despite hardship and uncertainty, continue to believe in the promise of tomorrow. The artistry of Roberts and Gasparo ensures that each time you turn the coin over in your hand, new details emerge: the proud lift of Kennedy's chin, the fierce dignity of the eagle, the stars encircling it like a protective shield. The longer these coins survive, the more precious they become. In an age where transactions have become increasingly digital and intangible, the 1979 half-dollar offers a tangible, enduring link to a time when the physical, the crafted, and the symbolic still held powerful sway. It reminds us that some treasures are not forged overnight, but are shaped over years, decades, and lifetimes of careful preservation and reverence. The 1979 half-dollar stands as more than a numismatic prize. It is a reflection of a nation's journey, a symbol of persistence, and a testament to the enduring allure of history captured in the palm of a hand. Whether resting in a velvet-lined case, shining under the lights of an auction house, or nestled in the proud display of a private collection, it tells a story that transcends generations, a story of hope, honor, and the relentless pursuit of greatness.